Okay. I thought it's baby issue right now.
All right. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. All right.
We finalize the Airbnb tomorrow. Samurai.
All right. Just do me a favor. If you got background noise, just mute yourself.
Well, send it to me because I got them credits already.
Grimes, can you mute yourself, my man?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
The baby's sleeping.
That's all good. All right. Okay, let's get started and be done with this so you guys can go about your day. Okay. So casualties has been a big part of war. No matter what war you look in what era, there's always going to be casualties. However, due to the United States Army's program and the Somalian period, which has happened to be featured in Black Hawk Down, they decided to create a plan called Tactical Combat Casualty Care. We're going to go over the three phases and an overview of them. The first phase is going to be care under fire. So care under fire, all you're going to do is just return fire and control the situation if you take any type of contact with enemies, like small arms fires, like rifles, rocket launchers, etc. Same thing if someone happens to get blown up by a roadside bomb. So when that happens, all you're going to do is return fire, get fire superiority, and then you're going to go up to the casualty. You're going to start yelling, hey, can you move the cover? Can you apply self-aid? Can you return fire? If they can do any of that, that helps out a lot. However, if they can't, you got to yell, play dead, I'm coming to you. The reason why you want to do that is just so you don't have any casualty thinking you're an enemy and shoot you when you approach. So when you get there, the biggest thing you're going to do is use a hasty tourniquet. Hasty tourniquet, as you can see, is going to be high and tight over the clothes. You're going to get as high as possible on the limb without going over a joint. And then with that being said, you're going to tighten it down as tight as it can be. The pain is the patient's problem. You're there to save their lives, of course. Lock it in, put the time strap on, as shown in the picture. And then we got a little thing coming from Training Circulation 4-02.1. Urgent, immediate, life-saving, and other measures which can be performed for casualties or performed by the casualty himself by non-medical personnel when medical personnel are not immediately available. That is the whole idea of this program. The biggest thing when it comes down to it, why it's such a credible source, is that it's coming straight from the doctrine that the Army actually studies and trains by. With that being said, every soldier or every service member should know how to conduct TC3 at the bare minimum level of a tourniquet, ETB, etc. And then once you get done with care under fire, you are going to go down to tactical field care. First, you're going to have them move to cover, all that good stuff, and you're going to start doing your triage process. Triage casualties as required. Casualty with an altered mental status should have weapons and communication equipment taken away from them immediately from deploy medicine. Deploy medicine is all the updates to tactical field care, care under fire, etc. It is updated yearly, if not bi-yearly. And the reason why you want to triage a casualty, you want if someone is going to be bleeding out sooner than later, take care of them first. If somebody just happens to have a shrapnel in their arm and is bleeding controlled by a tourniquet and there's nothing else, that person is going to be put on the back burner just trying to take care of them. You want to take away weapons communication because communication is key. You want to have all of that necessary equipment with your platoon, your company, etc., etc. The weapons, even though you got them back there, their ultimate mental status or their mental status, they could be dazed, confused, and get angry and not know what they're doing, and they could possibly shoot you. And then once you're in tactical field care, behind cover, fire superiority, we're going to go in the acronym MARCH. This is a head-to-toe assessment based off of the Army standard. First step is massive bleeding. So you're going to look for any bleedings, arms and legs, be more detailed. If you see blood, you're going to toss a tourniquet on. If you see any groin, neck wounds, or armpit wounds that is doing massive bleeding, you're going to put in and start packing with combat gauze. Then you're going to move on to the airway. The airway, you're going to check and see if there's any teeth or anything in the mouth, see if they're breathing, see the rise and fall of the chest. If they are not, you're going to use a nasopharyngeal airway. Then you're going to drop down the respiration, where you're going to apply chest seals to the front and back if you see any wounds from the clavicle all the way down the mid belly button, down the back, the entire back. Circulation at this very basic level is going to be just using a pressure dressing to control dark oozing blood. That's not going to necessarily kill them quickly. And then hypothermia, you're going to wrap them up in a warm blanket, try to keep that heat in. And then once you get done with tactical field care, you're going to move right into tactical evacuation care. This is where you're going to send up your 9-line request, which is just more or less a military's version of 911, but more standardized and line by line of location, what's going on with the casualty, who are they talking to, how they can get in contact. And then you're going to transport them to the nearest medical facility, if not to a medical vehicle like a helicopter or a Humvee to take them back to safety. By combining common reassurance with good first aid management, you will in most cases immediately reduce the pain, stress, and anxiety levels of the casualty. This is vital in the controlling and minimizing the escalation of shock by CPR.com. They're credible because they are actually an international medical site that actually updates their protocols of what is the best see fit for civilian medical services. However, this is correct because you still want to reassess your patient, tell them that everything's going to be all right, we got you, etc., just so they can actually be more comfortable to a certain degree where the anxiety is not going to rush, increase heart rate, and cause any more massive bleeding if there happened to be abdominal trauma. And that concludes the class. Thank you for everyone being here. If you want to find out more, just go to your local medical facility. Thank you and have a good night.
Do we applaud and clap now? Woo!
Woo. Yeah. Just trying to get everyone.
Good job, bro.
Yeah. I know Henry backed me up.
I'm so proud of you. You're a big boy now. I'm a kid now.
All right, sweet. That is pretty much it for the class. Thank you, everyone.
I'm